Good good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching the channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues and we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And I see we have a comment in the chat. Okay. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's get those lights up, please. Please hit the like button as you enter. Thank you very much, Keisha. And I hope you're having um, a fe- happy holiday season. Okay. Now, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much, all of you. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who log into your devices. Now, I need to let everybody know that the subscriber mode is functional, meaning that if you have not subscribed, if you wish to enter a comment, you will need to subscribe to the channel. So, what I want to ask you to do if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity um, to watch it live or watch it on the playback. Now, before we get into tonight's topic, there's a couple of things that I need to address, mainly in regards to Monday's stream, which I have to admit is not my usual stream. It really turned out to be like a smoke a smoke channel. I usually don't do this, and a couple people have expressed certain misgivings about it. I don't do this very often, and the fact of the matter is, it's something that I'm going to try to avoid in the new year. Um, I think Gans has said it best when it comes to referring to certain individuals, which is let the circus be the circus. I'm going to focus on providing um, quality content and be the best version of myself. Also, want to let everybody know that tomorrow's stream will be the last stream of 2022. Um, I'm not going to do anything on Friday. Um, it's basically a time to just um, relax a little bit. And I definitely have a very busy schedule. Okay. I'm going to be going out on and also a banquet Sunday. And to be time this week. So for that reason, I'm going to be in stream after tomorrow. The next stream will be on Monday, um, I believe 7 p.m. But in any case, I will be discussing it on tomorrow's stream. So, and of course, I do appreciate all the love and support all of you have given me. Okay. And well, I'm not yet at 200 subs, but look, the fact of the matter is, um, this channel is regarding everyday issues and trying to come with logical solutions. So I do appreciate all the love and support that you've given me. Okay. With that being said, we're going to get into the topic. See by the thumbnail, as you can see on the thumbnail, the topic for tonight's call-in show is the advantages of being a senior citizen. Now, let me just share with you briefly the genesis, so to speak, in regards to tonight's topic. Some of us do fear growing old because we have certain fears, we have certain unknowns, and certain things of that nature. And sometimes senior citizens can be among the loneliest people, the most depressed people, and what have you. And I didn't want to acknowledge the fact that I'm getting older, but nevertheless, I did have to reach the conclusion I'm getting older. First of all, I'm 60 years old. Even though I look well for my age, the fact of the matter is um, there's limitations to what I can do as a 60-year-old as compared to those who are much younger. That being said, there are a lot of advantages uh, for being a senior citizen among any of them. Um, in many societies, senior citizens are looked on with a great deal of respect, and also there's certain discounts that go along um, as as being a senior citizen. So what I'm going to do, just give me a moment. I'm going to drop the link, okay? And if anyone wishes to join the panel, uh, they can do so. Now, I know for a fact that chances are tonight's stream may not be as public, but then again, there's a time for serious discussion. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share an article um, from a website, from a source called Pacific Angels Home Care. Okay. And what it does, it talks about 9 perks of being a senior citizen. And as far as what's the definition, there are multiple definitions. Okay. For many people, um, being able to collect Social Security is considered being a senior citizen. For others, people who are in their 50s and their 60s. Nevertheless, whether it be in your 50s or your 60s, the fact of the matter is we are going to grow old, okay? The key is to adapt to the realities that while there's certain limitation to physically what we can do, we have certain advantages. And when it comes to those advantages, we need to be well versed and know before. Now, this is an article that was posted on November the 20th, 2020. And I'm just going to read to you what it says. Throughout our lives, we're always seeking out ways to save money or get discounts on products, services, and more. One of the benefits of being a senior citizen is many programs and options that instantly become available once you hit the golden years. From special pricing on vacation expenses to assistance with local transit costs, there are plenty of things that you can look forward to, and senior citizen benefits you can get excited about. Okay. One of them is entertainment. Okay. Now, many times when, for example, if we should go see a movie, they will show certain matinees and movies for senior citizens and at a reduced rate to try to encourage more of the elderly people to take advantage of the cinema. Okay, so let me just read on. Who says getting older isn't fun? There are so many great things we do all across the country for people who are over the age of 65 or 65 years old. And one of the best benefits of being a senior citizen is getting special pricing on many of these activities. If you want to see a movie, head over to your local theater and ask if they offer a senior discount. Looking for a thrill? Find the nearest amusement park to you and go at a lower rate for park entry. Many other attractions also offer senior pricing, such as science theaters, art shows, concerts, and more. Okay. Also, there's certain restaurants that they will have a reduced rate for people who are 60 years old and over. One example is Golden Corral. Okay. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, Golden Corral is a restaurant. Now, I see here we have a guest. So, I just want to state that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host is prohibited. By appearing way to your image, there are some views that may be considered offensive to some viewers. Now I'm going to bring in hopefully
Hi, how
my
you
computer
doing?
will behave.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay. Okay. Oh boy, here we okay.
Hey, how you doing? I'm here to impress.
Good evening.
I'm chilling. How are you?
Good evening. Okay,
Good
good evening,
evening.
Don Armando.
Hey, how you doing? I mean,
All right, how you doing tonight?
well, I'm just chilling. I'm just my alter ego Ebenezer Moocher. So
Yeah. So, before we get into the topic, you have any plans for this weekend?
yes, me and my wife are gonna actually go to I guess to a wine restaurant where a guy will be playing. So that'll be our New Year's plans. I just hope he's good.
Okay. Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to be going to a New Year's Eve party, and then on Saturday night, and then Sunday night, I'm going to a banquet. So I'm going to have a busy schedule this weekend. But
Yeah, yeah, I
the
hope that
topic for tonight
yeah.
is the Avengers. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, me personally, I hope you enjoyed that
Okay.
banquet.
Thank you. So, the topic for tonight is the advantages of being a senior citizen. And the reason why we're discussing this is because the reality is that we all go to age, okay? And it's for some people, they fear it. They fear the golden age, the golden. So tonight we're going to talk about how there's certain perks and advantages as it pertains to the people of the golden years.
Yes. I remember one advantage that a lot of older people had is that in certain restaurants here in the United States, you could actually have like a discount on all meals for senior citizens. I'm not saying all restaurants. I'm saying some that actually cater and respect older people's needs.
Hmm. Yes, that is true. That is true. Um, Also, there's certain discounts when it comes to like certain movie theaters in order to trying to encourage the senior citizens to partake in the show.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Now, another advantage that senior citizens have is travel perks. Now sometimes certain airlines that will offer a lower rate for senior citizens. Okay, and also sometimes hotels offer a reduced rate for senior citizens. And being that I'm part of the elderly now, I'm planning to take advantage of these things.
Don't forget cruises.
Yes, you're right. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right.
yeah,
Hmm.
because I was when I was in the cruise with my wife, there was
Hmm.
how should I say?
Hmm. Okay. Maybe there's someone playing. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I don't know how that I don't know how that went, but
Mhm.
it's
Okay.
when I went to the cruise, right? There was a lot of elderly Indian people and elderly Chinese people. So when I saw
Hmm.
like maybe it was there were 50% of the ride, and then everybody else were younger or kids or whatever the case may be. There
Hmm.
was look like I guess they had a discount or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
And also there's an organization known as AARP, which is the American Association for Retired Persons. That's for people who are age 50 and over. And
yeah,
what they do, they provide many discounts as far as um, food, lodging, entertainment. I happen to be a member of AARP, and I've been a member of AARP for over 10 years. Um,
oh, okay.
and going into the new year, I plan to take advantage of as many perks as I can get as a person in my golden years.
Well, in that aspect, why don't you try to go to Alaska, because that'll be a good trip. I mean, since you love the cold sphere, I mean, just think about it.
I'll,
You
you
got
know what?
the
I'll
You got these
I'll
strong
think about it.
huskies, right? And then they just pull in the sled and everything.
Hmm.
Well, I'm not. Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Well, you have to go to a part in Alaska that actually does that. So, you know.
yeah, I agree. Now, one thing that's another perk as far as being seniors is a thing called early bird specials for seniors. Now, sometimes what they'll do at certain restaurants, um, they'll and try to
Yeah.
encourage the elderly to come in earlier. They might have a reduced item, or might offer, say, a side dish for free.
Yeah.
So, uh, so I'm just saying to all us people who are part of the golden folk, let's go out there and enjoy all those perks.
Yep.
Now, another benefit is, um, sometimes, you know you might want to think about going to college to get your education. Now, some people thinking, why would a person who's in their 60s want to go to college? Well, first of all, um, most people in their 60s are either retired or they're getting close to their retirement age. And
Right.
going to college is a good way to, to keep active.
Right.
Okay. Now, in my case, one of the things I'm seriously considering to do once I retire is to study to become a deacon. Um, so therefore, I can be active, lead an active life, and help others.
All right. Okay. I'm all right. I'm just asking because I'm not gonna go around and say I know all the religious stuff pertaining I guess the Catholic Church or whatever the case may be. But all right. So if a person want to be a deacon, how long do they will have to go to university for? That's all I'm asking.
That's okay. That is something I will have to look into. Okay.
All right.
So I don't want to speculate because,
Right.
unfortunately, we these YouTube streets are full of these people who love to speculate. So I
Oh,
would rather be
yeah,
honest.
trust me. 2 Saturdays ago was all about speculations. So, you know, I know what you're
Well,
talking about.
we're not having any speculations here. I mean, this is a speculation-free zone. I mean, here we try
Exactly.
here we try to talk about the facts. Okay.
Right.
But what I can tell you is the following. Um, Once a person is ordained as a deacon, um, they can officiate in funeral services. They can officiate in weddings. There's also can officiate in certain Catholic services. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so so that way I keep myself busy and I practice my faith.
Right.
Okay, so that's something I'm seriously considering. Um, Another perk, of course, perk. Well, it could be a perk, it could not be a perk. Is that we'll be eligible for Medicare. Now,
Right.
of course, there's certain limits as far as the different types of Medicare, but there are
Right.
other like supplement Medicare programs for the elderly. I mean, that's
Right.
something definitely going to look into. But in my case, as a municipal employee, I will have Medicare, plus I'll have like supplemental medical coverage.
All right.
Okay. Now, and I don't want to get too. I don't want to deviate too much, but certain medical plans are only covered in certain states. So no, it's just
Yeah,
that
yeah,
some these are
yeah. I've
things
seen
I have
that.
to take into consideration.
All right.
Mhm.
So one question I gotta ask, since you're a part of the Golden Sphere, right? And I know that you've lived in New York all your life.
Yes.
Have you ever had a thought like maybe while you in your 20s or 30s that like you would want to live outside of New York or the United States once upon a time?
Actually, I had when I in my younger days,
Oh,
I
okay.
had thought about I thought about once I retired to move to Puerto Rico to live and spend my
All right.
golden years over there. Uh,
But what
Reason,
changed your attitude about that?
well, unfortunately, uh, a large part of it has to do with the politics that's involved over there in Puerto Rico. It's gotten very messy, and
All
unfortunately,
right.
there's been some no, no mismanagement of certain services and what have you. And for me to be active, you know, as far as local politics and demonstrations and things like that, um, more power to those who can do it, but that's really meant for the younger people.
Yeah, because the reason why I was saying is because I had a friend and her sister lives in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I, so and the friend, she's a New York born Dominican like I am, and her sister is too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could see that Puerto Rico is a beautiful place and everything, but I don't know, me personally, I don't know what that territory is. Although when me and my wife went to St. John's, it was actually like a good environment and such, but I don't know, like I would like to know what the environment is before I move out there, but you know, I just trying to weigh my options before I make that big move if I wanted to move out of the country for a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's understandable. But another advantage that we have as as Denise like to put it, you know, the people that's one step closer to the grave. Um, um, when it comes to like gym memberships, many of them offer like a discount for senior citizens.
Oh yeah. I mean, I seen that in my gym too. Cause there's a guy that I actually talked to, and me and him, we actually talk about current events and everything.
Hmm.
So he was just saying that all his family conversations is like he knows how to keep shut because all his his fa- all of his family are like staunch Republicans, and he's the only Democrat.
Hmm.
I was like, Dag, that must suck. He's like, yeah,
Yeah,
big time. I was like, wow.
yeah. Well, another benefit that seniors get is certain tax breaks. Now,
Hmm.
um, when I did my taxes last year, I was told that once I reach a certain age, I will be entitled to certain tax breaks based on my age. So,
All right.
so that's something to look forward to. And I can understand when people have a certain concern about getting older because they associate aging as a list of things that they cannot do physically. Also,
Right.
there's a sense of loneliness when
Uh,
a
uh, uh,
spouse
yeah. I
not
and not.
dies.
Yep.
Okay, go
And
ahead,
then
Donovan.
on top of it, I mean, I hate to say this, but then you see a lot of people like my generation and the older before and the one and my and the old and people who are older than me before 60. It's getting to the point that you have certain people who are like so miserable that they want to unalive themselves just for the fact that that they're growing old or they don't want to be old. So to me, there's a lot of how should I say, crazy phobias out there when the person's old. I'm getting old or something like that.
Yeah, and I think a huge part is the fear of the unknown. I mean, we love the fear about stuff that we don't know about. Now, also, as we grow older, there's certain advantages. I mean, for those who have children, um, by the time they reach, the singing years, the children have already moved on, hopefully, and have
Yeah.
their own places, which means um, you might have some disposable income to enjoy.
Right.
Okay, and also another advantage is the fact that you don't have to get up every morning to deal with getting ready to go to work and then getting on public transportation and then dealing with people who will ever get at your last blasted nerve. And then you go to work and then you're dealing with co-workers that make life almost impossible for you, or supervisors that make life almost impossible for you, or if you're serving clientele, sometimes you get difficult clients. Okay,
Yeah.
one one advantage that you have as you grow older is that you are able to retire. And if you properly plan, you will have things like social security, pension, 401k plans, and things of that nature, so that you can spend your remaining years relatively comfortable.
Right.
Hmm. So, and it all depends on your approach, and it also depends on your preparation. Okay. Um, of
Hmm.
course, another benefit that seniors get is that, okay, I don't know about other cities, but here in New York, we have senior citizen centers where the elderly can go and they can gather and they can congregate and they can enjoy social activities. Um, Also,
Yo,
they
one thing I could actually say though that I've seen talking about that in New York. I'm like you have certain people that that they have like certain activities catered to people of the golden spheres. But I've had heard stories. I don't know if it's true or not. Is that I've heard stories of older people who've had generations of I guess of beef or stuff. They actually settle in those old homes too. So it's funny that you actually mentioned that.
yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, you have certain people that can let go of certain beliefs. I mean, and the fact that you're going on for, good evening, Reese. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Good evening,
But
Reese.
it's just that it's I mean, it's sad when you think about it. When you're not able to move on, real, sometimes can get very snarky.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the real no. In general, seniors can end up being as sweet as children, or almost like terrorists when you think about it.
Yeah.
So, but and unfortunately, sometimes you have certain seniors that could, that could be like dirty old men or dirty old women.
Yeah, trust me, I don't want to try to be that. So you know, let's just say this: I know somebody who's close to me that have told me stories of dirty old men and dirty old women.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know what it is. Some people, their sex drive never dies. I mean,
right,
sometimes they can be. I mean, sometimes they could be like almost like completely bedridden, but yet um, they're still going on and on and on. Okay. Now I'm going to share another article. This was taken from U.S. News and World Report, dated August the 22nd of this year, and it talks about the financial perks of growing older. Okay. Aging certainly comes with plenty of problems: wrinkles, gray hair, vision, and hearing loss, and general aches and pains are all the common ailments. Yes, that is true. But there's also many perks of growing older, especially when your finances are concerned. Okay, now this is the things that we discuss. There's senior discounts, travel deals, tax deductions for seniors, bigger retirement account limits, no early withdrawal penalty, Social Security payments, affordable health insurance, senior services, and free college. I don't know about the free college, but it's a lot of benefits and perks um, as a senior citizen. And one good organization to join is AARP. So I would suggest, if anyone, um, once they reach day 50, seriously consider joining AARP. And no, AARP is not sponsoring the stream, okay? I wish they did, but eh. Now, as I alluded to earlier, there's many travel deals, okay? Many hotels and rental car companies will provide a discount to seniors who are above a certain age or AARP members. Travelers are eligible for 10% off some Amtrak fares at age 65 and older. Citizens and permanent residents of age 62 and older can get a National Park Service Lighttown Senior Pass to over 2,000 federal recreation sites for just $80 in person or $90 online. Okay. Now, these are the tax deductions for seniors. People age 65 or older are eligible for several extra tax deductions. Seniors are eligible to claim a bigger standard deduction than younger taxpayers. The standard deduction is $1,350 or more for each spouse who is 65 or older, or $2,700 if both members are married of a married couple meet the age requirement. If you are above a specific age and sometimes an income level, you might even qualify for property or school tax deferrals and exemptions. What do you think, Don Armando?
I mean, I think that is good. And I guess when I do get of that age, um, God bless, I think I will explore those options.
Yeah. Now, one thing we have to be mindful is when we start to file for Social Security. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the earliest that you can file each age 62. The more reduced your Social Security benefit would be. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how is your point of view, depending on when you were born, that would dictate how you have to be in order to receive full security benefits. And in my case, and everybody else, my age or younger, to receive full Social Security benefits, you must be 67 years old.
Right.
Okay. Now, of course, some people may not want to wait until they're 67, but it will be reduced benefit. Now, of course, there's different types of Social Security. There's Social Security, which is SSI, Social Supplemental Income. There's also Disability Social Security, and then there's regular Social Security. And of course, there are different criteria involved um, collecting Social Security. Now, last week, I actually visited a senior citizen center myself, and I participated in some of the activities. And sometimes it could be hard to find people your age um, to hang out with.
Yeah, it's kind of like that for me right now here in Philadelphia because certain people that I would love to hang out with, we don't do the hanging out thing because of, I guess, the environment and the immaturity of certain people my age group or older here in this city. So I find that like somewhat of a challenge.
Hmm.
So in this city, other than me being with my wife or anything like that, or me talking to my gym friends, I'm basically a loner.
Yeah. Is that a generational thing, or that's us how people were raised?
It's like, okay, I'm just saying that in my case, since I've been like maybe 6 years within the city and everything like that, most people that I've met, they don't really put the criteria as friends. I mean, I have people who I'm cool with and we're cool and everything like that, but we're like at an age that we don't want to I guess here in Philly, we just don't want to hang out. And then most of the people that I would hang out with, they just hang out with each other because they have a car and I don't. So I don't want to be the guy that that always needs a ride and such. Because in Philadelphia, they don't really. is not really like you got public transportation, but then where people want to go and hang out at, you have to actually have your own car.
Hmm. Yeah. Unfortunately, and that could be a big disadvantage because it does restrict you to a certain extent. Okay, I know Philadelphia has its own public transportation, but I have a feeling there might be certain parts of Philadelphia that your transportation system does not go to.
Exactly.
So, I mean, basically, that's more or less to a certain extent the same problem in New York. Now, of course, you do have Uber and Lyft. The problem is it can be very expensive um, for
Yeah, yeah, that's the problem. Like say if I want to go like okay, let's say I'm in Philadelphia and I want to go to Wilkes-Barre, right? I might have to pay like I might have to pay Amtrak to go over there, and then I'm left to I guess for my destination and such because I don't know if they have public transportation in that city or not, or I might have to depend on somebody to drive me out there. And sometimes certain people don't feel like driving, so I I guess this year I mean this year 2023 that's going to come up. I'm going to actually have to learn how to drive because there's certain places that I want to do and I just don't want to depend on certain people no more.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is very very true. Uh, and sometimes the elderly feel isolated.
Yes.
I mean, because first of all, they feel lonely because they feel that their children have neglected them, they don't visit them. Their spouse has passed on, or they gotten so sick that they're not able to go out, so they must be the caregivers for their spouses and what have you. So it could be a very difficult challenge.
Yeah.
So, and I can okay, and I can just imagine the loneliness that an elderly person will have. Okay, um,
Yeah. All right. I say all right, maybe some of the perks. Well, I guess for people who are in the golden sphere, I guess they have I guess dating apps
yeah.
for them or something for people in the golden sphere. I mean,
Mhm.
I I'm just saying because you got certain people that even though that they're older or anything like that, they'll want to seek companionship with somebody else or whatsoever. So I guess they might be in an advantage around that time. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, look, the fact of the matter is, when you get to the golden years, there's certain burdens that you don't have to deal with. You don't have to deal with going to work. You don't have to deal with raising children. Okay. So basically, it's just a matter of making sure that you keep healthy and that you have a healthy outlook at life.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing. And of course, that as a person now in my 60s, I'm fully aware of my limitations. So for me, it's a period of adapting.
All right.
So So of course of course I have to adapt to the fact that certain things I cannot do physically anymore. Okay.
All right.
Also, the fact of the matter is, it's good to get to the point where I may have to depend on others. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if I take proper care of myself, I can reduce that to a certain extent.
Right.
So, and no, as long look, if I can keep myself healthy, I can, I can live a relatively stress-free golden years,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just be mindful as I get older. I must continue to adapt.
Right.
Yeah, and for some people, it could be scary.
Yep.
Yeah, which is understandable. But the thing is, it's also a time to discover new skills as well.
Yes, it is.
So and I mean, you can learn how to paint. You can learn how to draw. You can learn how to do crochet. Um, you can have a YouTube channel. There's many things that you can do that is not physically taxing.
Right.
Okay, and I just want to encourage anyone, if they're watching, they're more than welcome to join the panel and express their point of view. If
Yeah.
you
I'm
prefer
about. I'm about to
not,
head out.
I
Don't Jose.
understand because there's certain people. All right. Well, thank you very much for stopping by.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So have a good night.
You too.
Okay. So, um, but, and to be perfectly honest, it took a while for me uh, to accept the fact that I'm growing older. Okay. Part of it, part of it is pride. Part of it is, thing called an ego, and it could be very humbling uh, when it gets to that point when you realize there's a limitation to what you can do physically, and sometimes it could be depressing when you know that your mind is still sharp and alert. However, your body is limited to what you can do. But again, it all has to do with how you approach it. It also has to deal with what are what are things that you can do. Okay, and also it deals with, okay, it could be an opportunity to learn. Okay, it could be an opportunity to learn new skills. It could be an opportunity to make new friends. It could be an opportunity to travel. If you never had the opportunity to travel, to do so. Now, I do plan that once my working days are over, I plan to do some traveling. I also plan to be active as a retiree, as far as meeting with other retirees, and also um, to a limited extent. So there's many things, and I repeat, many things that we can look forward to um, in our golden years. Okay, and it can't look. I'm not gonna say that there's certain fears. Okay, but if you can have a healthy approach, if you can develop healthy habits, if you can develop a healthier lifestyle, when I mean healthier, I don't mean just physically, mentally, spiritually. That's going to help you adjust to the golden years. Okay. And also, another benefit that you have as a senior citizen is you can share your wisdom with the younger generation. Now, I know that there's certain individuals that have a sense of staying with with millennials and Gen Z people. But one thing we have to bear in mind, which is not everyone's the same. Okay, we do need to bear that in mind. And as I like to say, again, again, and again, there are good people and bad people in every group. Okay, so you just learn how to deal with those who are essentially very are good people, and you try to avoid those who are a negative influence. Okay. Now going excuse me. Now going into 2023, um, my goal is to try to reduce stress as much as possible. Um, a good part of it it's for my mental well-being. Also, there are certain people of which I will try to avoid or at least limit my exposure, so to speak, to these people. Um, and one thing that I'm learning is how to pick your battles. Meaning, what are those issues where okay, I'm gonna make a stand. I'm gonna argue with you or engage with you respectfully. And then there is those issues where it's best not to be involved with. Okay. Now, when it comes to certain individuals that have certain beliefs, uh, I tend to be neutral, and there's a reason why. First of all, I don't know the full picture what's going on. Number one, things could seem to be different. Also, my involvement can make a situation worse instead of helpful. And sometimes people just need to leave it to themselves to try to resolve issues. Okay. Now, I have been talking for an hour. If anyone wishes to join the panel, the link is there. Anyone wishes to enter a comment, again, mindful, you must be a member. You can enter your comments there. If no one wishes to enter a comment, I'll join the panel after a certain length of time. I will start to wrap it up because I do know when it's a time to end things. The worst thing that you can do is to continue something when it should have been ended a long time ago. Now, what I will do is I will let you know regarding streams. Now, as I stated before, tomorrow will be my final live call-in show for 2022, and it'll be another case of open discussion. So I'll be talking about certain things that are on my mind. Also, I'll be talking about how this year has been and things of that nature. And then on Monday, I will be talking about who are the incels. So I'm going to be discussing that as far as who they are. I'm just going to make a general statement. So therefore, I'm not going to refer to anyone. That's something, okay, because that can be very controversial and people can react in many ways. So that's going to be the topic for Monday. And then on Wednesday, the topic will be how to deal with fake friends. These are people who the outwardly are your friends, but in reality, that they were never were. So I'm going to be discussing that next week, Wednesday. And then I'm going to have another session open discussion on Thursday at, I believe, 8 o'clock. So next week will lead us into season 5 of Uncommon Sense. And the topic and the theme for season 5 will be moving forward. And what does that mean by that? That means proceed forward. Do not fight against certain issues that at the time was childish to begin with, and then just to fight it again makes it even more childish. So let's see. So I will say this much: 2022 has been a very interesting year. Okay, I've been able to have many people appear on my platform, and I appreciate all of you very much. I appreciate your work every day. And I have made along the way. I acknowledge that. But I have tried to be a better person, and going into 2023. My goal, my mission is to be the best version of myself. So being that no one else is going to join the stream, I'm going to stop to wrap it up. And I do want to appreciate Keisha and Reese who appeared on the chat. Okay. And also appreciate the fact that Don Armando was on the panel. So I'm going to end this now. And I will say this much. Going into I will try to be true to myself so I thank you all for your time and for your attention. And of course, anyone who watches the stream on the playback, are more than welcome to enter their comments. Just keep it respectful, please. So that being said, this has been another somewhat short version of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And I wish all of you good night and take care.
Be strong.